AI is a new tool, actually a whole suite of tools. So when do you use which tool is the important thing for a marketer to understand. Understanding how it all works, that's the job of the data scientist. And if you are interested and you want to become a data scientist, please do. We need more of you. But if you're a person, a business decision maker, and you just want to know, do I use AI or not? It depends entirely on the problem you're solving.
Hello and welcome to a whole new episode of Engati CX. I'm your host, Jeremy D'Souza, and today you folks are in for a real treat. We have a customer experience expert with us on the show today. But before I introduce you to our amazing guest, allow me to quickly introduce you to the magic of Engati. Engati is the world's leading multilingual no-code chatbot platform available across 14 channels with more than 41,000 bots created across 186 countries in every domain and use case. Engati has also been recognized as a top platform by Inc.com, TechWorld, CIO, and many others. We run the Engati blog, the video channel, and the Engati CX podcast, receiving upwards of 400,000 visitors annually. So, hit the subscribe button and you'll never miss out on a single interview. But now for our wonderful guest. Jim Sterne is an internationally known keynote speaker, author, and is a consultant to Fortune 500 companies and internet entrepreneurs. With over 25 years of sales and marketing experience, he's an expert on using digital media to strengthen and create and strengthen customer relationships. His current focus is on AI for marketing, and he's the founder of Marketing Analytics Summit and the co-founder of the Digital Analytics Association. Jim, we're really thrilled to have you with us today on the show.
My pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
Okay, so let's dive into the questions. Jim, how do we define analytics centralization, and how big is its role in today's marketing scenario?
So centralization is, first of all, thank you very much for inviting me on the show. I'm very pleased, and I'm really interested in gritty questions. So centralization is a problem that we faced from the very beginning of IT. When we had websites, every company had multiple products and they were creating their own websites. And then they said, you know what, if we centralize, we'll get economies of scale. We'll be able to learn and centralize, standardize on products and on training and process, and we can really help all the business units by having a central organization. Now, when we come to analytics, the same is true. An analytics center of excellence can harness the best and the brightest in the center core and then connect out to the different business units to provide value. But what happens over time is that those business units need a little bit of specialization, some customization, maybe a different tool set, and they start wandering away from the central core as is appropriate for their needs until it gets so far away that management says, wait a minute, let's bring it all back together, centralize again, standardize again. And this is cyclical and it's appropriate. It's environmental, if you will. The tools, the training, methods, processes, the ability to explore new tools is something that, that individual business units can't do, that a center of excellence can. So when you need economy of scale, it's a great idea, but rest assured that every department is going to need their own autonomy on level.
Absolutely, it makes a lot of sense. Yes, you do need centralization to some extent, but you do need a little bit of flexibility according to the department. Jim, my next question to you is, how would we go about making groups of analytics cohorts? And what problems can we discuss and what outcomes can we, expect?
So analytics cohorts is a new program that I've created to bring people together to build professional relationships. I've done that through the conference world. Now, let's all once or twice a year in various locations. Well, we can't do that today. And while I can watch shows like this, while I can watch TED Talks and I can see YouTube lectures and learn, it's meeting the people that's really where the value is. So I created analytics cohorts at analyticscohorts.com so that small groups of people can get involved in co-mentoring. And that means they bring every problem they have to the table. So I've got, last week we had somebody say that they were headed for an interview, and did anybody have any suggestions? Well, in this cohort are people who have about 5 months worth of experience, and people have 15 years of experience. So there's a lot of good advice. On the other hand, the people with 15 years of experience said, I'm having these problems with senior management, and I can't talk to my team about it because my job is to manage them. So I need this group to help me. How do I overcome these problems with my manager? And this kind of professional connection is so important. Any kind of can be brought to the table. And the outcome is that years from now, I will have somebody in mind that I can talk to. I gave a lecture for MBA students at UCLA, and one of the students said, well, I'm interested in analytics and I want to get involved and an internship somewhere. And I said, well, but what do you love? Oh, well, I love music. Oh, great. Well, I happen to know the head of data strategy at Amazon Music. Would you like an introduction? That's what a professional relationship does.
Absolutely. It opens doors and it helps you solve problems that you particularly wouldn't ask either your boss or your team. It makes life much easier for all of them. Jim, how do we relate the three needs to the three deeds of AI? And how can we map it in our existing tech environments?
Okay, well, this is something from my book, Artificial Intelligence and Marketing. So 3 needs for 3 deeds. The needs are data, a goal, and control. And the deeds are detect, decide, and revise. So I need, for AI to work, for machine learning to work, I need a lot of data. So if you don't quite have enough data yet, that's fine. You can use linear regression. You can use an Excel spreadsheet. But if you have a lot of data, that's the good place to start. And it has to be clean and reliable and all that good stuff. And a specific goal. So here's my data set, and here's what I want to accomplish. Machine learning is not artificial intelligence. It's not intelligent in the way that it can look at things from multiple perspectives. It focuses on a specific problem at a specific time. So you need a very specific goal. Let's say you're looking at email marketing. I want to make emails that get opened more, or get more click-throughs, or get more conversions. Those are 3 completely different problems to solve. And so I'm going to build a machine learning model using a lot of data in order to figure out what's the best subject line to meet a specific goal. Then comes control. Control is the ability for the machine to take action. So I'm going to give the email management responsibility to the machine, use this data in order to increase my open rate. We'll just pick that one for now. Here's a bunch of subject lines to try and go to town. And it has control over sending emails, looking at the results, and changing its mind. So it is going to detect which data is the most valuable. It's going to decide which subject line is the best by looking at the results, and it's going to revise and change the model the mathematical model that it has created in order to continuously improve. So it needs a lot of data and a goal and control in order to detect, decide, and revise. Now, we are using that for very specific problems, and this is what I've described is reinforcement learning. So there's 3 kinds. There's reinforcement learning. Try to go do something better and better and better. Let's put the right message in front of the right person at the right time. There's also supervised learning that says, here are all of my customers and everything I know about my customers. Go find other people who look like this. I've explained to the machine that these are my best customers. Now go find other people who look like that who might become my best customers. There's unsupervised learning, which says, here's my data, show me a pattern, tell me something I didn't know. So the goal, control, revise is reinforcement learning. Whereas if I'm trying to teach the machine how to recognize cats by giving it 10 million pictures of cats, that's supervised learning. And then show me anomalies, show me patterns, help me understand categorization, implementation in my data set is unsupervised. Hope that.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Supervised learning is when you essentially give them like a set and you tell them, okay, now find me more like this.
Or tell me if this new one matches.
Exactly. Like, get me leads which look exactly like this. And unsupervised learning would be more like, okay, here's my data. Go ham and tell me what I need to know, right?
Mm-hmm. Tell me something interesting, and then the human has to decide, is it worth study?
Absolutely. So, Jim, as a marketer or as anyone in business, you can't just look at any shiny new piece of technology that just comes in and decide that, hey, I want to adopt this. So how should we as marketers look at new technology, look at things like AI and how we should, adapt them to our marketing strategies, and give us a little brief of what you explained in your book, actually.
It is simply understanding that AI is a new tool, actually a whole suite of tools. So when do you use which tool is the important thing for a marketer to understand. Understanding how it all works, that's the job of the data scientist. And if you are interested and you want to become a data scientist, please do. We need more of you. But if you're a person, a business decision maker, and you just want to know, do I use AI or not? It depends entirely on the problem you're solving. So some problems are forward programming, automation. We just want to automate this so the human doesn't have to do all the stupid stuff. Or we want to play games with our information. Variables, values, they have relationships. And we want to be able to add and remove different variables. We want to play with what their values are and modify them. We want to change the relationships between them. That's called an Excel spreadsheet. And it's a brilliant tool and it's really valuable. So if your problem can be solved with a spreadsheet, by all means do it. It's cheap and everybody understands it. If your problem is more complex and requires some predictive analytics, great, get a statistician. Bring in somebody who actually understands the deep math about making predictions. That has incredible value. But if you have a whole lot of data, if you have a problem that the risk is low, then machine learning might be a really good solution. And I say low risk because some problems are really tough. Trying to build a self-driving car, the risk is really high because human life is at stake. If you're trying to put the right ad in front of the right person on Facebook and you fail, you just spent a millionth of a penny, who cares? And that's a great example of, I've got enough data because I can put out 1 million ads. The machine can look at the results and tell you which one segments. So understanding how it works and where it might be useful for a given problem to solve. If the problem is, my call center is overwhelmed with phone calls, then the answer could be, let's record the phone calls that are coming in. Let's do natural language processing on them. Let's find out complaining about the most. Let's parse that out, that we train our people, and then we can also build bots to those questions on our website. Instead of it's overwhelmed with all of these phone calls, we can answer the questions before they're asked. That's a very specific problem. Oh, look, there's some great AI tools to help with that.
Absolutely. You have to look at the problem, how big of a deal it is, whether you can solve it with like something cheap, something small, or whether you actually need something expansive. Otherwise, you would essentially be trying to get a bazooka to do the job of a pistol, which doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Exactly. I also like to use the analogy of the CEO comes in and says, we need an 18-wheel truck. Oh, okay, I can get you an 18-wheel truck. What are we using it for? I just want an 18-wheel truck. And then you find out that he wants to take a trip to the grocery store. It's like, there's a better solution that's less expensive. If you will just explain the business problem, I can recommend the appropriate tool.
Absolutely. Jim, is there any other information, any other sound bites that you'd like to share with us today?
I think building your professional network is probably top of mind for me. It's why the Digital Analytics Association has such tremendous value, because people are working together to improve the industry, building, doing national development and education and training, building community together. You get on a team in the association. When we work together, you meet all kinds of people at all kinds of companies, and eventually they become, your boss or your employee or something. So it's really valuable. Analyticscohorts.com, of course, is top of mind for me. The other thing I would say is look at all the analytics tools that are out there. Look at all of the artificial intelligence tools that are being built for very specific purpose, and think about your personal capabilities. Mm-hmm. So start with adding words to your Microsoft Word dictionary, right? You're teaching the machine about your vocabulary. Yep. Then build maps in Excel spreadsheets. You are writing programs to run inside Excel. Mm-hmm. Then the different tools that can help you do your job as a marketer individually. So there are tools that will help you do email marketing better, and you are training that machine to do it the way you like to do it. So it's not, it is transferable information. When you go to a different job, you walk in and you say, well, I'm very experienced using this software in this marketplace, and I have these tools that I use that give me superpowers. Imagine if in your job of work, you're asked the same questions over and over again. What if you trained a bot to answer those questions personally, not just for your company, right? How valuable that would be for the next company you go to. Anytime somebody asks me, oh yeah, that old question again, I've written a script, get the data, and provide the answer. And yeah, you can ask me on Slack, but am I or is my bot? What difference does it make? You get the answer.
Exactly. Just speeds things up really well. So guys, if you're interested in data, if you love data just like Jim and his t-shirt, you should definitely check out Jim's profile and Analytics Cohort. Jim, where else can they reach you?
Targeting.com or jimsterne.com. I'm on Twitter. I've had the same email address for 35 years, so I'm pretty easy to find.
And then you can just spend a little bit of time trying to figure out, is Jim answering you or is this bot, right? Okay, it's been wonderful having you on the show today. Jim, your insights were amazing. They were really fantastic. And I know the audience is definitely going to love this interview. Guys, we will all be back with a new episode and a new expert pretty soon. So stay tuned and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We'll see you around for the next one.